Good morning, Vivian. Vivian, you are the manager director of Edge Workspaces. Edge Workspaces is one of the most important, we can say, developer in the Netherlands of office buildings, with a strong positioning in terms of sustainability, technology. Edge buildings have been awarded by a very international reputed firm and advisory board to celebrate the fact indeed that you had the best scores in some sustainable elements of indicator, etc. And Edge Technologies, Edge Building, or the company and the group, has created its own brand, Coworking brand, FlexWorkspace brand. And that's the purpose of the discussion we will have today. Why a developer of a building considers and invest in the development of hospitality service. But first of all, can you, Vivian, introduce yourself and give us some words about explanation about Edge Workspaces?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. So my name is Vivian Suhr. I work for Edge Technologies. I have a whole background in the hotel business, and the last 8 years, I have worked with the founders of Spaces, which is very big. It used to be only in the Netherlands, but now they are worldwide. Flex office concept. And I really helped building it both on an operational and a commercial side. And after that, when the company was sold to IWG, I decided to move on, and then I got an opportunity with Edge. And my initial role here was to find flex office providers such as Spaces or WeWork or Design Space, whomever is locally in the market, to acquire them for Edge buildings. And then, we came up with the idea to do it under our own brand, for various reasons.
Yes, we will have a word about it to understand why you choose to do it yourself at the end of the day, and rather than just partner up with some of the operators which are around the corner and that we well know. For those who don't know, Edge is really a developer of iconic buildings in the Netherlands. So you're based in Amsterdam.
Yes.
And Edge also Workspaces. The news is for you that you opened up a new location in Berlin, and there are some others. There are 3 locations in total that are in the pipe or open. Can you just give us a few words about what is specific to Edge as a developer? Because as we said, that's the reputation of a company is very important in the Netherlands and even internationally, but also because you invested a lot in the technology and the efficiency of the building. So what can you tell us to understand better what Edge is and the positioning?
Well, Edge is a real estate developer or redeveloper. They used to build, headquarters for ING or for big companies, and then after a couple of years, they built the Edge. I don't know if you can see it. Actually, it's in my backside.
But
and that is a really sustainable building where they used smart technology to make the building better, and they got really awarded for that. And then they changed from OVG name to Edge, and now we are really focusing on building buildings that are that have 4 pillars, which is, as you mentioned, the sustainable part, the well-being part for the people who are within that building, the design. People should, really feel proud and love it, have enough daylight, etc., to be in that building. And of course, the technology. So by putting in a lot of sensors and smart technology in that building, you can learn from that building, and you can see what is the behavior of the people that are inside, what makes them feel better, what makes them perform better. Mm-hmm. And that is really what Edge, what makes Edge different from other real estate developers.
Yes, for those who don't know Edge, I recommend them to visit the website. There are some iconic buildings, as we know, that are very well known in the Netherlands and some other places. Okay. And then Edge, so it's Edge Technologies. So you are, operator of technology, so it's implemented. It's all part of the whole project. The design, as we mentioned, is also something important. But now Edge comes with a Workspaces brand, which is flexible workspace and co-working. So why did you need to come with your own brand? Because as we discussed prior to the conversation, what is really interesting is that now as a developer, Edge is a company that sees technology and design and sustainability as very important, but also the hospitality service. So how did you come to the conclusion that it was important to create your own in-house service for that?
Well, actually, I had a conversation in my first week when I started with members of the board, and they actually mentioned that it was a part of the request of investors. Mm-hmm. Right. So we make buildings and we sell them to investors. And the investors want to have a couple of things now that are different from before. So first they just wanted to have a nice building in a nice place. I just put it a little simple, of course. Mm-hmm. But now they really requested to have some flexibility in terms of leasing potential of tenants that are in the building. So you see that tenants are decreasing, are sometimes increasing, and they need to have that flexibility within a building. So if you have part of it that you rent out flexible, so not on a 5 or 10 year lease mm-hmm. term, then you can offer that. And also they wanted to have a place where people get connected. So there the hospitality comes. So this was really something that the market of investors came up with. And then we, of course, first thought, okay, our core business is just to develop, to put tenants in. And then we got the idea, okay, we are such an iconic developer. We put the Edge ring on the buildings that we make. Let's also take care of the tenants that are in there, and based on the same values as we have with Edge. So we, as Workspaces, we really focus on the well-being of the individual. And we do that by also design. So we design different spaces that thrive the brain, that unleashes the best version of you. That's how we say it.
It tells a lot about the evolution of the real estate development industry and skills that you now have to bring in that kind of project, because that means that it's another layer, another level of complexity. Yeah. And as you said, investors. So to be clear, the developers develop and build buildings. Then define an investors, which is going to operate the building, and investor can be an insurance company or funds, and they usually are the ones who are marketing the building and the space. And here you come with something which is more turnkey to some extent. And so you mentioned it. We could have the operator buying the building or the investor buying the building, just signing a contract with Spaces or Mindspace or WeWork or Talent Garden or whoever, and they thought it was, or you thought with them that it was maybe better to really integrate also the Edge Workspace service directly in the whole package. Why is it so?
Well, because if you make a building, it is of a certain quality, and you put in tenants, and in the ideal world, you don't then want to walk away from it, because in 5 years, what has happened to your building, the building that you made, right? So if you are still involved in that building, you know, you can keep an eye on stuff and keep the quality of the building at a very high level, which is of course also good for the investor, right? Yeah. And then the people that are in there are being taken care of as they expected, because they rented an Edge building. Yeah. So it is all connected. And yeah, we think that's really an added value and a unique proposition now in the market. So that's why we do it. And of course, let's be honest, companies like Spaces and WeWork, they make money, right? So why put another operator in and let go of the revenue that you can make yourself? So that's also.
So it's not only a strategic move, it's also a business supported rationality that is behind it.
Yeah, very true. It was not something that our CEO said, okay, that's really nice, let's do it for zero revenue. Yeah. You know, I have my own P&L. I really have to perform. So yeah, it's still a business, but it's a business within a business, and it's all connected through the brands.
You also mentioned that, and this is something we hear also from real estate owner that develop their own brands as well, but that it was also the idea that there was those different steps of relationship they had with tenants, that small companies which were scaling up, they were starting from the co-working environment of flex workspace, and then when they build up, the trust was there with the owner and the landlord, and yeah. That's why they choose just to stay in the same building, but just taking a floor instead of keeping a small office as they started from in the beginning. So that is also the whole value change, that it's now part of the all relationship building and marketing that
exactly
plays a role.
Yeah, you can have all kinds of reasons and try to be different from other providers as an operator, but still it comes down to the team that you have in your building and to the hospitality, and in what way you are connecting to the tenants that you have. That's the well-being and the sustainability. It's really important, but it all, in my view, comes down to the hospitality. That's what makes you different from whomever. And so for us, a really important KPI is the percentage of the tenants that will stay in your building for multiple years. And as you said, it's the best example if a scale-up comes in or a startup comes in with 4 persons and they grow within all kinds of Edge buildings through the workspaces part that has short-term lease, and then they grow so big that they want to have their own Edge building, right? That's the ultimate goal.
Okay, and what about the positioning? Because Edge Workspace is a brand, so we know that in hospitality, brands is really important. Is it, how specific is it? Do you in terms, you know, we know the list of values that is related to a brand. Is there something that you want to put the line on in terms of who Edge Workspace is, in terms of service provision, values, the environment, feeling, and the vibe that you are creating? Or is it something that, yeah, it's just part of the Edge building and people know what the Edge building is and that's it?
Yeah. No, you see a lot in flex office providers, let's put it like that, and operators, that they are trying to build a community. And we are also aiming that. But other than that, we are really focusing on the individual. So through design, through, I don't know, noise, colors, whatever, we will try to get the best out of a person. So that means that you really have to connect to the individual. We are really focusing on the individual who is working in our building, because everybody is different. And I think that is a little different from the other players in the market. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You have odd desking services, and or is it just private offices? Is it just meeting room events? That the whole set of traditional service we see?
Yeah, we are really focusing on private offices, and our shared spaces are are coming along with their office. So whenever they rent an office, they can also use the shared space. They can use the restaurant, they can use the meeting room, so they don't have to build their own meeting rooms. And then, but we notice, of course, in Corona that, you know, there are also a lot of individuals that need a workspace. So, of course, we have that product, and also we have dedicated desks. So people that want to have a fixed desk in some kind of space and area. So in the end, we ended up offering the whole scheme that every other provider offered. But our main focus is to really look after the tenants. That's it. And yeah, so that they can really connect to each other and use the space that they are paying for.
You just opened a Berlin right now.
Yeah.
What's your takeaway from the pandemic, and how do you see the next steps in this environment, which is, we know, is different with remote working, which has been all over the place. You are in city centers as well. We know that city centers will be challenged. What's your take on that?
Well, first of all, I'm really proud of our building in Berlin, because the one here in Amsterdam we took over from another operator, but the one in Berlin we really built from scratch. Mm-hmm. And so the whole design, and it is beautiful. Of course, the timing was really bad, because we opened last March, and what I see happening is that first we were a little afraid that people would, you know, really liked to stay home, right? And to work from home. And during the first, let's say, peak or lockdown, it was really something, oh, wow, I don't have to go to the office. How nice is that? But we see it now coming back, that people, mm-hmm. you know, want to engage with each other, and they totally get bored when they are at home, and they really get energy from being in the office. And we also see that in terms of leads that are now coming in. I must say Amsterdam is already moving a little faster than Berlin, but I think we are spot on with what we offer there, you know, to have an office, but to also have different spaces where you can engage with other people. And you also see that happening with big corporates. Mm-hmm. They have their office, and of course they don't need as much space anymore, because people are working more from home, but you see them transferring the space that's left into spaces where people can engage. Game rooms, coffee rooms, lounge areas. Mm-hmm. They all built that in their own building to make it more attractive for the people to come there and to get energy from actually meeting each other.
You were mentioning also that from Edge Workspace perspective, that was also kind of service you aim at delivering in terms of once they grow bigger, that you can help them also to fit out the space.
Exactly.
Their way with this idea, you need a new way to approach the layout of an office space nowadays, due to what you mentioned.
Yes.
And the office culture that is coming in.
We offer offices that where the tenants can make the office into their own look and feel. Because if you prepare standard offices, that's really nice. You know, if you need a short-term solution because you move to another city or you move even to another country, then you don't want to be bothered with getting an office fitted out. But what we offer is, let's say, the next step to an office solution, a temporary office solution, and to have all the services offered, centralized. So everybody can focus on their core business. But in terms of look and feel, where people sit all day, it is nice to really feel that you are working for this particular company.
So you mean in terms of colors, of
exactly.
design, setting, the aesthetic of the space that fits also with the culture of the company.
Some tenants in Berlin, they have a space where they have a big kitchen table, and that's the office space, and then some loose furniture around it, and others have the standard desks. I mean, up to them. And then in terms of color and also logos, they can put it in their own office.
It means again that a landlord now has to deliver a new level of service, all included, that was not something they were even thinking of maybe 5 or 10 years ago, and now it becomes a must or mandatory for any landlord to some extent. Is it what are you interpret also this move that we are seeing now?
Yes, yeah, and I'm really happy with it, because it makes us all better if we are in.
It's more value also provided. More
value, yeah.
Okay, we are arriving at the end of the conversation. What's next for Edge Workspaces? So does it mean that only Edge Workspaces will only be in Edge buildings, or you could export the service elsewhere?
That's actually a really good question, and it's not clear yet. So as we would like to stand out as an operator, it helps being in, outstanding buildings, right? And our CEO said that, as long as you have my name on your Edge Workspaces, then you should be in Edge buildings. But you don't know what the future brings. For now,
if the P&L is good, they will reconsider maybe.
Exactly. I first have to show some numbers, I guess. But for now we are only working on projects from Edge, and we're also very, very small. I work with my direct colleague Natalia, who's based in Berlin, and it's basically just two of us taking care of new projects. And then in the locations we have awesome teams. But so whenever you want to grow big, you also have to grow big in number of employees, and that's always the.
What's the percentage of a building that is occupied by Edge Workspaces in the buildings you are in, and could it grow? Could it grow? Yeah.
Well, in Amsterdam we are doing really good. We are 96% occupancy.
What I mean is that in the total capacity of the building, what's the part that Edge Workspaces has?
It's not a percentage of the building, but to have a good business case, you have to be in a very good location. So as I said in our prior discussion, Edge Workspace is not going to be in every location. It needs to be a good location where there is really demand for flex office space. So a lot of people. But we need at least for a good business case, I would say 5,000 square meters.
Okay.
So that could be half of the building, but that could also be 20% of the building.
Okay. There is no standards yet. It's based on the
the only standard is the only standard is that we need a number of square meters that we can rent out to office space, because the office space of course covers the shared space.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Very interesting. Welcome to the new player Edge Workspaces. And we will look forward to hearing more about your next step. But also it's also very enlightening about how this industry is moving, the developer industry, because we speak about the landlord, we speak about the operator, but the developer is also coming in this industry now, in this business. So
yes,
that's really striking.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Well,
thank you so much for the conversation, and hopefully we will meet at the Coworking Europe conference in Vienna, or at another occasion.
Yeah, or you can host an event from one of our buildings. That would be great too.
Oh, Sounds interesting and appealing.
Let's do that.
Thanks a lot, Vivian. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.